welcome back to my channel. As you could tell by the title of this video, I have somehow done more damage than ever before in one given month. In the month of October, I have somehow acquired 50 plus books, exactly 53. So that is pretty insane even for me. I know exactly how it happened, but let me tell you all. Okay, so of the 53 books that I acquired in October, 17 were gifted to me dash I didn't pay for. So I'll get into those probably first so you all can see them. But the other 36, that was all me. That was exactly me, and I don't feel bad about it. I feel like I shouldn't do it again, but I am impressed. There's a lot of books in one month and I really shouldn't do it, but you know, it happens and we're here, so we're going to talk about it. So let's get into it. I think how I'm going to structure this video is telling you all where I got the books from and we'll go from there. So first, let's get into the free books, and the first ones we're going to do are the publisher-author mail. First, in author mail, Amber Garza sent over a copy of her book In a Quiet Town. This is a thriller novel, and I was so lucky to receive it from her. I'm really looking forward to it, and Ashley Winstead, who wrote In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, quoted it and said, "Turning a familiar suburban setting into a deliciously chilling landscape, Garza once again proves she's a master of twisted relationships." So I am really excited about that. That is a big name, and I'm really excited that she reached out to send this over, and I hope to read this very soon. Next, J.H. Hastings reached out and sent over his debut novel, Sunnyvale, which is a historical fiction novel that is focused on a small town called Sunnyvale, and they are having this Memorial Day celebration with fireworks, and it's a really cute small town setting, but some weird things start happening that brings up some old kind of bad memories from the past. So kind of suspenseful, thriller-esque with a little dash of romance. So we have something in this book for everyone, and I'm really looking forward to getting into it. So very happy again to have received this and looking forward to getting into it. And then lastly, from Hachette Book Group and Forever Publishing, I got Four Weddings and a Puppy by Lizzie Shane, and this book just looks freaking adorable. This story focuses on Kendall, who wants to be a wedding planner, but currently she has a cake, and the dog that she is fostering at the moment got into the cake and kind of ate the icing, and now she has to fix it right before the ceremony. That's when Brody sweeps in and saves the day. Brody is her brother's best friend and also an Olympic athlete. So he is very dreamy and here to help her out. What Kendall doesn't know, though, is that he's given up the entire Olympic athlete life and he's just somewhere in between. So they have 4 weddings together and a puppy and a steamy couple of kisses, and they are going to find out where they belong is probably with one another. And it just sounds so cute. And I looked at Lizzie Shane's backlist, and she is an author that writes a ton of romance books with dogs involved. And as a dog mom myself, I just think that they are so sweet. So I can't wait to get into this. So that is the first stack of books. I'm always so honored when authors and publishers send me over books. Like, it is truly a dream come true. This next stack of books is so kindly gifted to me by my coworkers. They made me a bookish basket for my bridal shower that they threw me, and I'll post a picture right here. And it was just the sweetest gesture. They stalked my Goodreads to see what books that I was wanting to read, and it was just so kind. So I am very, very lucky to have them, and they in total got me 14 books. So mind blown by that, and yeah, just very thankful for it. So let's get into what they got me. So the first book that I got was A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross, and I am obsessed with the paperback cover of this. The OG cover is really nice, but she is stunning. I love this. Next is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and I have wanted to pick this up for so long, but I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about Kristen Hanna, and I think this will be the first book that I read by her because everybody just raves about it. I have not heard one bad review. Did not realize it was this thick, but I am sure it will be well worth it. Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the 3rd book in the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy, and it just came out in paperback, so I have all the books now, and I am very excited to start that series. I have a lot of Carrie Maniscalco coming up, so just get used to the name. Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. Again, I have heard nothing but good things about this book. It is eerie. It makes you a little bit uncomfortable. So not super thriller-esque, but I think very suspenseful and kind of a creepy feeling, which is just very interesting. It takes a lot for a book to evoke that kind of feeling. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I've actually already convinced my fiance to read this book and he loved it. He has already made it through this duology, so I really need to get into it as well so that I can talk to him about it and understand all the hype behind it. Credence by Penelope Douglas. This was one of those moments where people I don't think always know the bookish community, and I just love it because it's just so funny, because I'm pretty sure that this is quite the spicy romance book. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a why choose, and I personally love Penelope Douglas, so I'm very much looking forward to getting into this. I can't wait. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I think this is so crazy because it came out, I believe, in the beginning of 2023, and I've heard really good things about it. I believe people were crying over it. I think it's also Kindle Unlimited, so I still need to read this and I'm hoping to really enjoy it. Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. I think these covers are so cute, and I also have In the Weeds on my shelf, so I'm really hoping to enjoy this author, but regardless, I will be picking this up in the month of December, if not before. The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. I've heard such interesting reviews about this book because people say that it doesn't make sense until the very end and it all ties together and the end makes it worth it. But at this point, I'm like, I might just wait until February to read this since it is a Valentine's Day, I believe, book. Really looking forward to it either way. Another Beth O'Leary book, The Flat Share. This is, I think, a very old, like an older romance novel, but I'm still excited about it because I think it's about two roommates who are on alternate shifts, so they just like leave notes back and forth to one another. So I think it'll be like a cute setup. I don't know. Maggie Moves On by Lucy Score. I just finished the Knock 'Em Out trilogy, so I am really excited to read more of Lucy Score, and there is a dog, so you already know that I'm very excited about it. The Fixer-Upper by Lauren Forsyth. This is a book about a woman who is very good at fixing the flaws of partners in a relationship. So I just think that's a super interesting concept and have had it for a while, and I'm looking forward to getting into it. Pack Up the Moon by Kristen Higgins. I am going to need to be in a very good state of mind to consume this book because I have been told that it just absolutely wrecks you. So I'm excited about it, but I am going to save it for a day where I am mentally stable enough to get through it without wanting to just die on the inside. And then maybe In Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. She is one of my auto-buy authors, and I've been trying to make my way through her backlist, so this is definitely one that I am looking forward to getting into. I don't know if I can hold all these up. Oh, there we go. It all fits in the frame. So those are all 14 books that I got from my coworkers. They were so sweet, and I am still in awe of their kindness. So that is a lot of the books. So that's 14, and let's move on to the next deck. Okay, so now these are all of the apparently 36 books that I bought myself. First, and I am here to tell you all, if you have not heard my girl math before, Book of the Month is a huge money saver. Once you get to their friend status and the add-ons end up at $11.99 for a hardcover book, that's cheaper than most paperbacks. So I take advantage of that personally. If I'm already gonna buy a book, I might as well buy it from Book of the Month because then I'm saving money. That's how it works. So with that, I ended up getting 5 books from Book of the Month in October. I think my October pick was Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. I've heard actually mixed reviews about this, but it's a super short, I think, suspense thriller novel, and I think it's YA as well. So I'm still excited to get into it. I'll probably read it in November, maybe. But it just looks so fun, and I'm obsessed with the cover. Like, the colors are beautiful. Next, I heard so many good things about You Again by Kate Goldbeck that I had to pick it up. I skipped over it in September because I wasn't sure what everybody was going to think about it, but after hearing raving reviews about it, I had to go ahead and pick it up, and it's the perfect fall vibe. I'm so glad that everybody liked it because the cover is too beautiful not to love the book. I didn't realize that it's kind of a thicker romance book though, so I'm assuming there's a lot that goes on, and I am really looking forward to reading it. Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. I already have one of her books on my shelf, but I haven't gotten to it yet, but all of her books seem so interesting and I have heard really good reviews about them, so I just collect them for the day that I finally pick them up. The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic by Brienne Randall. This is going to be just a cute witchy read as well. I think there's going to be a lot of, I think it's a more emotional book, so I just need to be aware of that before I go into it. And then lastly, The Fragile Threads of Power by B.E. Schwab. Have I read the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy? No. But I do have it, so once I read that, then I can get into this, but good lord, that is a chunkster, but I'm sure very, very well worth it. So that is my book of the month stack. Again, I am just so impressed by how much money you can save by getting your books through Book of the Month. Book of the Month, if you want to sponsor me, just let me know. But I am a big fan and am excited to see what else I get in November. So my next stack, as some of you know, Target and Amazon had BOGO deals going this month, and who am I to pass that up? So the first book that I knew I had to get this month was House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. This just came out in paperback, so I really wanted to get my hands on it to match the other copy of House of Earth and Blood. Yeah, let's go with that. So it just came out in paperback, and I know that I need to get to this before January and when the third book comes out. So that was Target, if I didn't say that. And then the other book, I could have just gotten that one, but it's a BOGO. You're silly not to use a BOGO, come on. Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. I have not still read a Tessa Bailey book, but I have two now on my Christmas TBR of hers. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope that she writes a good Christmas novel. And then on to Amazon's BOGO. I picked up Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I don't know why, but this has been calling to me. I think it's a YA fantasy novel, and I am just in a YA mood. So pick this one up. Along with Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I am so looking forward to getting into this series. Rachel Catherine has been speaking so highly of it. So I believe it's a YA sci-fi, but don't let that scare you because Rachel Catherine said that it's amazing. That's all the validation we need, right? And then lastly, not part of a BOGO or anything, but I grabbed Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and does it even need an explanation? Everybody has been loving this book, and I probably will too, so I can't wait to get into it. So that is my Amazon-Target BOGO, and then Powerless was just because. Alright, and then this next stack are a ton of my thrifted finds, and that is going to include stores like Goodwill, Second and Charles, and Pango. So first I found 8 Perfect Hours by Leah Louise at Goodwill, and it was $1. So another book to add to my Christmas TBR. Next, Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. This just looks pretty funny. I haven't heard any reviews on it actually, so I can't wait to form my own opinion on it. Next, Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. I think I actually read this when I was much younger, and I hope to read it again and just see if I still enjoy it because I feel like I remember it so fondly. But now that I am a little bit older and read a lot more, I'm interested to see how it goes. And obviously, I believe it was a year ago that Katie is reading went through all of these books, but I just watched those vlogs and I had such a good time with them. So she had a good time with them. I'm ready to have a good time with them. Next, Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This is a YA mystery and I've heard really amazing things about this. It's a trilogy, so I am again just very excited and in a very YA mood, so I had to pick it up. Next, Kristen Hanna's Firefly Lane. This was again a Goodwill for $1, and it looks like by the sticker it was a Costco book at one point. So it's in basically perfect condition, and I'm really hoping that I like Kristen Hanna as much as everybody else because I now have 3 of her books and haven't read one. Next, Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. I bought this strictly for the cover. It is stunning. The spine is stunning. I love how it looks, so I'm hoping that the content inside is just as good as the cover. Next, The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I heard amazing things about this book last year. Everybody seemed to really enjoy it, so I'm hoping to enjoy it as well. I recently read The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and that was my first Riley Sager book, and some of it was great, and then other parts of it were not so great, so I'm hoping that this book will appeal to me more. Next, I got Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. This was $4.90 at Second and Charles, so I figured that if I picked it up and I didn't like it, that would be okay because it was only $4.90. But I've heard really good things about this book series as well, and I'm really, really looking forward to getting into more of Carrie Maniscalco's writing. Next, All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is part of the Natural series, and I have been trying to find the older covers at this point because they are all obviously very heavily discounted, because the new covers are beautiful, but these are fine as well. So I've been thrifting these, and like the rest of the world, very excited to get into this series. Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I have read the Once Upon a Broken Heart series already, so I think that takes place in the same world as this, but I don't think it matters that it went out of order. I don't know, I saw this and it was used for $5.90, so I went ahead and picked it up just in case I wanted to get back into this world. Stephanie Garber does really well with like whimsical writing. Like, world she creates is so magical, and I think that I'm going to miss Once Upon a Broken Heart's world in that writing style, so I picked this one up just to see if I could get into this trilogy as well. Next, Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. This I think was popular about a year or two ago as well, but I never read it, and it seems pretty short. So yeah, under 300 pages. So I don't know, I just picked it up. It was $1 and now I have one. And then lastly, in this thrifted stack, Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. This is the second book in the Renegades trilogy, so just collecting the trilogy before I have even finished the first one. Or started the first one. Why would I start the first one? But this was $7.95, and for a hardcover in basically perfect condition, how could I say no? And that is that thrifted stack, and I paid for all of these in cash, so it basically cost me nothing, and I will stay by that. And then lastly, if you have watched my content at all, you know that I am a big book outlet fan. It is one of my favorite places to get new books heavily discounted. So I love their website. I'll actually leave my code in the comments down below so that if it is your first book outlet order, you'll get $5 off. I love that website, and I got 2 orders this month, so let me show it to you all. Also, their stock is ever evolving, so the books I show may not be on the website anymore, but just to give you an idea of what they are providing. I saw this on Book Outlet and this inspired an entire order. So that is the entire trilogy of Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. It's the box set. So we have Truly Devious, The Vanishing Stair, and The Hand on the Wall. And I was so excited. It was about half the price that it is on Amazon, so I knew I had to go ahead and pick it up. Do I now have 2 copies of Truly Devious? Yes, I do. I don't regret it though, not one bit. And then I got 2 more books to add to my Christmas TBR, the first one being Meet Me Under the Mistletoe by Jenny Bayliss. I read A Season for Second Chances by Jenny Bayliss last year, and I believe that was more like women's lit fic, but I'm hoping to get more of a romance story out of this. Wait, this is the one. Yeah, a city bookshop owner heads to the English countryside for a holiday reunion only to face her childhood enemy. So really, I just enjoy that the main female character is a bookstore owner, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays into her plotline. And then secondly, Just Like Magic by Sarah Hogel. I have seen a couple of people read this book and they say it is just so out of left field. I think, okay, so the main character plays All I Want for Christmas backwards and summons a spirit. Like, what? So I've just heard really good things about this book, and I know that I'm going to go into it kind of thinking that it's a silly, funny time, so that is what I'm expecting, and I'm sure what I'm going to get. Next, Katie is reading Just Went Through Anatomy by Dana Schwartz, and also Immortality by Dana Schwartz, and I just am so excited about these. I'm glad that she liked them because I really wanted to read them. Also, I know that these look like a heart and a brain, and I never looked closely enough, but it's a woman in a dress. And the same thing here. I mean, these covers are stunning, and the premise sounds so interesting. The premise of this story is that it's set in olden times, but this woman wants to be a doctor, but she can't go to doctor classes because she is not a man. So she makes an agreement with the professor that if she can pass the final exam without ever going to class, then she can be a doctor. That is just such a fun concept, and how resilient of this woman. I am just so excited to read about it. I love a BA female character. Okay, and remember how I bought Stalking Jack the Ripper? Well, I found the other 3 books in the series, so I went ahead and picked them up. Completed the series without starting the first book again. Shocking. Irresponsible. But oh well. Those books are Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco, Escaping from Houdini by Carrie Maniscalco, and Capturing the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco. So that was amazing. They were all $5.95 on Book Outlet, so I had to grab all obviously, why wouldn't I? But hopefully I like this series. It sounds super interesting. I'm sure I'll like it. And then next I found Killer Instincts by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, so I have rounded out that Natural series, so I'm very, very happy about that. Killjoy by Holly Jackson. I have the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy on my short TBR list, so I am really, really looking forward to that. And I believe that this came out after the entire trilogy was created, but it is a prequel novella that's kind of showing Pip before she got into her senior thesis and everything. So I've heard amazing things about this, and I'm really looking forward to that entire trilogy. Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. This is a $30 book that I got for $8. I am so excited to read this. I've heard that it just makes you absolutely infuriated with the main female character, and I just think it's going to be amazing. I want to get into R.F. Kuang's writing, and so this is also probably a short list for me as well. The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I am very nervous about this book because it is very thick, but at least the fluff is fantastic. I have heard really good things about it. I believe it took her like 10 years to write it, so I hope that it is just a masterpiece. And then lastly, I found Supernova by Marissa Meyer. So this rounds out the Renegades trilogy for me. So now I have them all. Yep, now I have them all. Oh, okay, there they are. All right, so these are all from Book Outlet, and I had such a good time. They are all so cheap, and they only have minor, like, you can see the dots on them, but that's really the biggest flaw of them. If you don't mind that, I would definitely recommend checking out their website. And I'm actually just going to keep them all right here because I can't hold them all up even if I wanted to. So those are all 53 books that I somehow acquired in the month of October. It was a lot. It was a big month. There's no doubt about that. I am actually going to be going on a book buying ban in the month of November because I already have all of my pre-orders for the books that I have coming in, aka Iron Flame. So I really don't need to, and I will be gone for most of this month to do my wedding and my honeymoon. So I really shouldn't need to buy anything. So next month, any books that I have acquired, and that will be like my book of the month books and any pre-orders, I'll include in my November reading wrap up. So you can still see them all, but it just wouldn't be enough to make an entire video on it. These videos always do pretty well comparatively to my other videos, so I hope you all had a good time watching this. Let me know what your favorite book that you acquired in the month of October was, and if you saw one that you're really excited about, like if one of these was your favorite book, please let me know in the comments down below. I have a lot of books, obviously, that I've acquired, so I need to understand where these different books should fall in the line of priority in which I read them. Thanks for hanging out. This was probably a longer video, but I hope you all enjoy it, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!